All right, everyone, and welcome to my first character build where I'm going to do my best to represent the character in this build, but for the most part, this is just going to be a monk barbarian build. So, how I like to do character builds is I don't get me, Dragon Ball is my favorite anime, but I hate it when people try to do these character builds. I mean, not try to, but they do these character builds and they just are god awful. Like these builds are turkey dookie bad. Like it really disappoints me, and I know the problem is like, especially making Dragon Ball characters in this, it's very difficult to make a character that's actually good because all they do is punch and then they do a bunch of spells. That's how it would be for D&D. So um the spell casting and whatnot is going to be very limited. I'm going to focus more on the raging and the punching, and it just happens to be a build that I wanted to do anyways. So the preference, this build is going to be very good early game, but if you were to go to character level 18 or you're starting at a very high level, just do 2 levels of barbarian, 18 monk. That's because at level 18 monk you get such an amazing feature that you don't need the third level dip in a barbarian that we do. But the problem is you're holding out for that long just sucks in a long-term campaign. So I would highly recommend just doing this build for the most part. I mean, who's really playing that high of a level, right? So, yep. We're going to be using our imagination here. I'm not playing a human or Asimar like most people do. Like I stated in my Echo Knight video from like 2 weeks ago, um, the biggest thing in the player's handbook right now is that all these high level monsters deal force damage. So whenever I play a barbarian, it's always gonna be an amethyst dragon, gem dragonborn. It you because they nerf totem barbarian. This is the only way for barbarians to keep up. Barbarians only keep up by mitigating damage, and especially because we're mostly going to be a monk in this build, so we're not going to have as much HP as we did on that Echo Knight build, and our con has to suffer because we have to take a 13 in wisdom, so our stats are not going to be the best. So this part right here is exactly the same from the Echo Knight build. You're a gem dragonborn, so from level 1 we can do the thing that Broly does where he shoots a beam, energy beam from his mouth, except it's only going to be a 15-foot cone. Oh well, we're doing the best we can here. So from level 1 you can do that. You have Psionic Mind. Broly can't do that, but have fun with it. Again, this is a character build second, a normal build first, and then we get the flight at level 5. I'm gonna go with alert again. I know. Honestly, though, I would consider tough instead of alert because we don't have that con, that 16 con. We're starting with 14 con, and also we're not going to be able to buff our con like we did in the Echo Knight build. We're stuck at 14 for life. So honestly, might go tough. But the reason I like alert is just because you need to get that rage up. Without rage, you are dying. You have no armor class in this build, and I hate to say it, but you have no armor class. Yeah, I know, it sucks. So again, just like I said before in the other barbarian build, choose in the, between, of course, athletics. We're prioritizing strength, and then acrobatics, intimidation, perception, stealth, or survival. Choose whatever you want here. These will be buffed up by rage. Monk level 1. Instead of going, I know you can go barbarian 1, and then you get a better health increase because you start off with that D12, so that 12 HP, and that would help a little bit, like 2 HP. But the reason why I'm going monk level 1 is just for the saving throws. We get dexterity saving throws of monk 1, and eventually this is mostly a monk build, so we're going to get evasion. I want to make sure we can make those dex saves, and at least we can mitigate damage from breath attacks and fireballs and all those fun AoE damage spells that they deal to us. I would definitely roleplay this as you shrugging it off, like, oh, that's nothing, or something like that. Like how Broly shrugs off damage and whatnot. But yeah, then yep, level 1 monk. You get, what's cool with monk now is we're gonna be taking. I know it's gonna kill the immersion, but it's too optimal because now how monks work, as long as you're simple or martial weapons, you get to use your martial arts die for those weapons. So though those weapons are a D6 to begin with, and monks start off now with a D6, which is amazing, instead of that crappy D4. But those weapons just scale with your monk martial arts die. And of course, the broken scimitar short sword combo, getting a free attack every round, you kind of, there's no reason why wouldn't you use it. Just role play it that you don't have it, and then worst comes to worst, if you're taken or whatever, then you just know you can't do that little combo. But just role play that you're punching. I don't think your DM's gonna have a problem with this. It's just, you just gotta tell them, okay, I'm doing slashing damage instead of bludgeoning. That's it. Just let them know that, and just role play it as punching. It's D&D. It's a role playing game. You could use Dex. We're not doing that. All strength. Our armor class is awful. We literally have a 13 armor class right now, and that's only going to go up to a 14 next level with the unarmored defense from Barbarian. And we have to not wear armor because of martial arts. If we want to do this, our bonus action unarmed strike. For our stat allocation, like I said before, we're going to have a 14 dex, 17 strength, and we're going to have a crappy 13 wisdom. We could do grapples with this build, but I don't see the need. With a 14 AC, they're hitting us regardless. I don't see the point in trying to grapple an enemy. You could build a grapple build with this easily, but I don't see the point. I'm going to also do next week's video is going to be a Goku build, Goku/Vegeta build, and I'm actually going to just do a straight 1 through 20 monk. That one's going to be a grapple build, only because it's the only way I can get advantage as just a pure monk, and that's what I hate. That's why I've never played a monk before in my life, and that's just because of the lack of advantage. At least now in 2024, it's going to be a little different just with all the grappling changes. So don't worry, I'm going to do a grappling monk, tag it as a Goku build, because you'll be able to do a lot of this cool stuff that Goku can do. But yeah, off topic, that's next week's video. A little sneak peek for next week. Level 2, we're going to Barbarian. We're going to get that improved defense. Oh, one more AC. Yeah. Again, AC is bad. You're going to get hit. Unfortunately, we're only going to have one rage until we go back to Barbarian. So utilize this rage effectively. Use this for our big combats. And then we get weapon mastery. So now, starting from level 2, we use the short sword scimitar tactic. And what's cool with 2024 is now, as part of the attack action, you can stow and draw. So you can attack, stow the weapon, and punch. Again, you're not role playing wise. Punch. While raging. Yeah, that's gonna be it. We could if you want to role play this as rage, just being the Akari form when Broly starts off before he even goes Super Saiyan, and then when we get our gem flight, that's how I would classify as the Super Saiyan. And me, gem flight would be the green Super Saiyan, legendary Super Saiyan form. And this next feature now, when we get to Monk 3, we're not there yet. But yeah, this is it. When we get to Monk 3, we get another transformation, and that's what I would classify as Super Saiyan. Okay, back to Monk. We're going to be here until level 5. We finally get focus points, so now we can do 4 attacks in one round at level 3 with rage, all at +2. Round 2, because you have the bonus action rage first. But rage does last 10 minutes, so you might get multiple combats off it, and you might go into a combat with rage, which is amazing, and it fits the build perfectly. Focus points, so you get 2 at this level, and Flurry of Blows costs 1, so you're just going to blow it on Flurry of Blows, and that's it. But something to note is you can now, as for free, take the disengage action, but if you want dodge, it's another key point. We're not going to do that. And then you can dash for free too. That's just pretty cool. Unarmored movement, more movement, nice. Uncanny metabolism, an amazing new feature. Gives us all of our key points back once per long rest. Amazing. We get all our key back in a short rest, so we're going to be doing a lot of punches with this build. I really love the new monk. I just wish that there was a better way to get advantage other than grappling, but oh well. Okay, level 4, Monk 3, Way of the 4 Elements. This is where we get our next transformation. This is going to, so elemental attunement, basically, it costs a key point, but it's a part of the attack action, or it's a free action. Basically, you don't have to do anything to activate this. And what's cool is we can change our unarmed strikes to acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. And if we want to, we could push people. I don't really care unless you're pushing them off a cliff or something. We're not doing we're not doing the spike growth tactic. I'm not going to do that in the next build either, just because I feel it's too good of a build. It's your DM's gonna hate you. Even I, as a power gamer, am like, this is too much. Like, you literally set up a spike growth, and you can grapple enemies, and you run them through, and then you have all this movement. Grappling doesn't, where the grappler feat doesn't impede anything, and you're just doing 2d4, 2d4, and you kill everything. It's not fun. And then your other melee party members can't even fight the enemy unless you leave them off in the corner, I guess. But like, it's not fun in my opinion. So we're not doing that. So elemental attunement, this is going to be our Super Saiyan form, and later on we'll be able to fly with this form just without having to use gem flight, which is kind of cool. So manipulate the elements, you get an elemental some spell, whatever. We get deflect missile. This is going to be our only reaction at this level. Is the only thing we can do with a reaction right now is once per turn, reduce the damage by 1d10 plus dex, which is crap, plus monk level. So I mean 2. This level is not that bad. You can reduce a lot of things to 0. Make sure to use this every single round. Level 5, Monk 4, we are going to get Slow Fall, which is a good feature. And if you end up falling off a cliff or something, you can use it to reduce the damage by 5 times your monk level. It's good. So at level 5, that would be 25 damage. Pretty good. Well, it's going to be... we're technically level 4, so 20 damage, but you get the point. If you're monk level, whatever your monk level is at. And what's good is now we're going to get Sentinel. I know I just said our only reaction was this, but now we have another reaction with Sentinel. So we can get a reaction attack when they attack our friend. We can use Sentinel to hit them, and they can't move. And also, if they try to leave our range, we hit them, and they can't move if we hit them. It's a pretty good feat. Yeah. And then now we get Gem Flight. This could be your legendary Super Saiyan form. And now we can fly, which is great. And then it's only once per long rest, but once we get to Monk 11, we'll be able to fly whenever we want, which is amazing. Monk 5, extra attack, Stunning Strike. We won't be using Stunning Strike. We have 13 Wisdom. That means our spell save DC is awful. So I don't see the point in wasting a key point on that when you can just do Flurry of Blows. Stunning Strike does have a failed thing now where you can if they fail, the target's stunned. Yeah, but if they succeed, your next attack has advantage, and then the target speed is half. But I wouldn't blow a key point on that. I don't know. You could if it's a critical fight and you want their speed half, but you have it free advantage, so I don't see it worth it. Without extra attack and Flurry of Blows, we can do 5 attacks in one round, all with the rage damage buff. And next level, all of that will be at advantage. Right now, I know it sucks not hitting with advantage. Trust me, I understand. But starting from next level, everything you do now, attack-wise, will be at advantage. So, we talked about this. Bonus action, Flurry of Blows, Nick, Vex, Stow It, Punch, 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 Punch. And then Sentinel for opportunity attack. That's it. And then our defense is just rage. And now we get the reckless attack and danger sense. Amazing. We already have proficiency with dexterity saving throws. Now we have advantage on dexterity, pretty much all dexterity saving throws. And now with reckless, we're always going to be using it. We have advantage on strength save checks, which is great. So if we were to grapple, advantage on that. The trade-off, of course, is that they have advantage to hit you. You're going to get hit anyways with a 14 AC. The only thing that sucks is you're more prone to crits, and you can't wear adamantium armor, so that's the only downside with this build. That's it. That's the only downside with this build. Danger Sense, great. Same combat strategy, advantage with 5 attacks. Amazing. We're horse, we gotta go Wildheart, we gotta beef up those defenses. You could do, if you really wanted to, you could do Beast Barbarian here. If all you care about is damage, and you do not care about living. But I remember, if you're dead, you can't do damage. But if all you care about is damage, if you go Beast Barbarian, you get an additional attack, because how it works is you have the claws, and then after you do one claw, you get another claw, and then you could that same claw could be the same punching hand, and it's kind of cool. And Beast with Barbarian would make sense for Broly, with the Kari Saiyan Beast, like it fits. But so is Wildheart and the bear. Game resists everything because Broly just kind of tanks everything. Both fit really good. For one extra attack of 1d6 of damage plus your rage and strength, I don't see it worth it, to be honest. But just something to consider. You could do that, but I care about living, so I'm gonna get resistance to pretty much everything except psychic, everything except psychic, force, necrotic, and radiant, and then we get force from the racial. You have some other. You can go eagle, wolf. Never use it. Always bear. Primal knowledge. You get another skill. Just pick something. Perception. It's always good. And pick one of the skills I said above that go with rage. Animal speaker. This is actually very thematic. When Broly was on his planet, he talked to that Vampa. On Vampa, I think the Vampa was a planet. He would talk to that little thing that usually I couldn't do too much the AIR because they don't want you got to very very the let me see the other have the other image here. No, I don't have the cape, but he has there's like a cape, and that's stuff from his father ends up making him kill this animal that he grew up with. Basically, he's very thematic for Broly. That's all I'm trying to say. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen Dragon Ball Super Broly. I first forgot the name of the thing. There's a name for him, but whatever. Okay, level 8 build's done. That's it. You have the whole build. I really like how these builds are very complete at level 8, just because most campaigns are 10 or 11. So, and the 10 or 11. But this is the whole build. You rage, you resistance to most things. You just recklessly attack, and your rage is what's gonna keep you alive. And that's it. So that's basically the build. So now let's we talked about this already. Rage, elemental attunement, attack action, Nick Vex combo, put it away, punch, and yeah. Here's a summary of all the levels that we just went through. If you need a summary, and then here's another summary if you need it in table format. And yeah, now we'll continue the build for people that really care about where this goes and further. Level 9, Monk 6. We get Empowered Strikes, so now we can deal force damage with our breath weapon and our punches. Something I guess I forgot to note up here is if you have a bunch of enemies next to you, you could do your breath weapon thing and hit a bunch of them, but I don't know, it's 2d10 at this level. Maybe it goes up to 3d10. Your con mod isn't the best, so it's up to you. But here you get, in my opinion, if you want to do some damage, never mind. Your wisdom's worse than your con, so this feature kind of sucks. This is going to be your other little Kamehameha. Broly's new Kamehameha's energy beam feature, but the energy beam feature sucks with this build because our wisdom is 13 and it's not going higher than 13. So you could use this, but I wouldn't waste your key points on this. Unarmed strikes deal force damage though, so you can deal force, or when you go elemental attunement, you can do the elemental damages. But note, if you like pushing the enemies potentially, you can only do that with the elemental damage. You cannot do that with force damage. Monk 7 evasion. This is why I took Monk 1 to begin with, because it pairs well with danger sense, and now we have proficiency, advantage, and we always, no matter what, we'll take half damage on dexterity saving throws. So now we can most hopefully take no damage. And remember, if you do take half damage, it's half. So you take you half it, and then you half it again because of our resistances, assuming that it's one of the many resistances that we have. Next, we're going to need another half feat. So I'm going to take Mage Slayer. I'm going back to the Echo Knight build. I probably could have fit Mage Slayer in there, but then I wouldn't have had a +5 to con. I kind of forgot about this new feat. Well, buffed new feat. It's actually amazing. You get a half feat. You get a once per short rest auto succeed on a mental saving throw. That's amazing for for especially this and the fighter who don't have good mental saves. And then on top of it, they have disadvantage on concentration checks when you're fighting enemy spellcasters. Like, Mage Slayer has to go on every single strength build, and I apologize that I did not put this on the Echo Knight build, but now you know. Any strength-based build, or I think you can do Dex too, but whatever Mage Slayer buffs, I think it's no strength and con, but take Mage Slayer, amazing. We get a feature acrobatic movement. You get to run around, whatever. You can fly. Once per long rest, you're about to be able to. In 2 levels, you can fly whenever you want. Monk 9, Monk 8 through 10, 9 is like whatever. But Monk 10 though is a new thing with monks, another buff, where now Flurry of Blows is 3 unarmed attacks instead of 2. So you can do a lot of attacks now, and if you were to use the other 2 features, they get buffed too. So that's amazing. So now we can do 6 attacks, all with rage, in our strength mod. Amazing. And then we keep getting more stuff. We get self restoration. Now we're gonna remove charm, frighten, or poison from ourselves at the end of each of our turn. Free action. Amazing. You know how good that is? It's just to be able to do that. That's so good. And then immunity to exhaustion, lack of food or drink is very situational. And then Monk 11, more features. Elemental Attunement now gives us a flying speed. Finally, we got permanent flight pretty much. I mean, permanent flight in battle, not out of combat. Again, if it wasn't for that, these enemies are dealing force damage and then all the time, and the Barbarian getting the Wildheart getting nerfed. I would say try to get a flying racial, because all these Dragonball characters fly everywhere, but a lot of DMs don't like. Of course, it makes sense to have a race that can just fly all the time. It kind of crushes a lot of things. But speaking of crusher, Monk 12, we get a feat. The only problem is we kind of took all the good half feats, and since we're punching, there's no Great Weapon Master, there's no Dual Wielder, there's all the feats you usually take. We don't take them. So if you like the pushing, get Crusher. You're doing a lot of bludgeoning damage with your fist. Dragon Fear. I wish we can get Dragon Fear. You know how good that would be, like when Broly rages and goes and they start screaming. If your DM is nice enough to let Dragon Fear, maybe while you're raging, because it's a charisma. The DC is charisma based, which sucks for this build with an 8 charisma. But if you GM, it will allow you to use your strength bonus instead while you're raging, because it kind of makes sense with the new how the new rage works. Take Dragon Fear. That's so cool. You basically you sacrifice an attack action and sacrifice one of your breath weapons, but while you're basically you scream and frighten everyone, all the enemies that hear you within 30 feet, and you get a half feat for that, and you can do that proficiency times per day. I think that's so cool, and I hope if you play this build until level 15 that your DM will just say, yeah, screw it, because I mean the DC is only going to be 8 plus proficiency plus your strength mod, so 5, 13 plus proficiency. I think it's like 5 or 4 at this point, so what, 18 or 17 DC. Like I mean, they might fail it, but it's so cool. And then at least you can mitigate some advantage on you. But I think it's just really cool. But the 2 optimal ones would be either Charger or Crusher. Charger will just give you a D8 of more damage because you're going to charge into your enemies, and you get some more movement. It's kind of cool, I guess. So, and then Crusher if you like pushing people. And then we always have advantage. So we're probably going to be getting a lot of crits. If we get a lot of crits on that target, everyone has advantage, including you. You're going to be recklessing, so it won't matter for you. But hey, your allies, having advantage on everyone having advantage for a turn. That's great. Here's the summary of the builds that we did. Everything that we did from 9 to 15, all in a little neat chart for you. And now the last part of the build, 16 through 20. There's a couple options here. Continue as monk. I think continuing as you get way too much from high level monk now, which is crazy. Deflect energy. If you as a reaction, if we're not punching, remember we can mitigate damage. Now we can mitigate whatever any damage type pretty much, which is really good for those big attacks. If you get critted or something, you need to deflect that energy. Now we get proficiency in every single saving throw. which is great. And if we really need to make that save, we can burn a bunch of key points to keep re-rolling. Such a good feature. I'm actually very excited to build a 1 through 20 monk that actually has good wisdom and dex and like does all the monk stuff. I'm very excited for this Goku Vegeta build, Saiyan build, pretty much. Perfect focus. If you don't have any McKinney metabolisms, you regain up to 4 key points when you roll initiative. So uncanny metabolism is that feature that gains all of our key points back, and which is amazing. And so now we can get even more key points if we're all out and burnt out for the day. Great. Monk 16, which is character level 19, we get our epic boon. At this point, take boon of element, energy resistance, get psychic and necrotic. So now we're only resistant to radiant. Don't fight any angels. And if your DM allows 2 epic boons, I would then get out of Monk 16 and go back to Barbarian 4, get epic boon of Fortitude. You need that HP for the frontliner, and you have 2 epic boons, 22 strength. If your DM doesn't allow that, then I would go back over here. Instead of getting one of these feats over here, pick something else, and then cap your strength with the epic boon. Also, if your DM is nice, since you're going to 20, and if you really did this build from like level 1 or something, maybe your DM will let you remove a barbarian level, and then you can get Monk 17, Elemental Attunement. You get a damage resistance. This is whatever. I mean, it won't be whatever because if you lose your barbarian level. And then what's cool is just walking around, everyone takes AoE damage on that type. That is so cool. It's 1 damage once per turn on enemies, but like you get a mini Spirit Guardians just active. That's so cool. You get a bonus once per turn on your armored attacks with your martial arts dice, an additional D10 or D12 at this point. I forget what it is. Really cool feature. And then if you were to get that level 18 feature, you just, with 4 key points, you get resistance to all damage except force. And then we have the force resistance from our racial. That is amazing. That would be so much better tanking than we're doing right now. If your DM if you go into level 20, I think your DM will allow you to get rid of 1 level, but I don't know, maybe not, because that helped you out throughout a lot of the campaign. But yeah, this is what I talked about here. Split it up if your DM lets you get 2 epic boons. And then this is just the final overview of the build. Everything's the same. Bear resistance, energy resistance, proficiency in all saves. You have ton of HP. The boon of Fortitude will help you a lot. Your constitution sucks. You have like almost 100 less HP than the Echo Knight. I know. But you have a lot of attacks consistently. It's not like once per round where you get all the attacks. This is every single round, and you could do it consistently. A short rest, getting back everything, uncanny metabolism. You have a lot of mobility and utility, and yeah, I really like this build. Broly is like one of my favorite characters in Dragonball. I really like this build a lot. Please go and join the Discord. This whole document is posted in the Discord. Like, comment, and subscribe. Next week, I'm going to be doing a video of just a 1 through 20 monk, and it's going to be the Vegeta Goku build, more towards Goku, and you'll see why. What I'm going with for that build. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this character build. All character builds I do going forward will be optimized and to the best of my ability. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the build. Like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord. Till next time, peace.